The more hip turn and the more I release my right hip, the further my shoulders can travel. Now, hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through one of my favourite drills for increasing hip turn and maintaining your inclination in the backswing. Actually having a little bit more hip turn can, number one, be a little bit more helpful on the lower back, as if we keep our hips and legs relatively still and I turn against a solid base, I can actually really feel some pressure building in the lower spine. So actually releasing your hips can really help with some lower back pain. And the second thing is it can really help with some distance. If I can increase my turn and I can increase how far my shoulders travel, then the club will travel further and I'll be able to pick up a little bit more speed. So let's get into it. Okay, so for today's drill, all you're going to need is 2 alignment sticks. And the first alignment stick you're going to place between your feet, twist it to the left, and have the alignment stick about 45 degrees turned in this direction. And that is just resting against my right heel and sitting out. The second thing you're going to do is place the other alignment stick through your belt loops. And with no golf club to start, stand over this stick, hands across the chest, and just practice rotating to the top of your swing and seeing if you can match in some hip turn and shoulder turn. Now for me, that feels like quite a stretch to be able to do that, but I definitely know the more hip turn and the more I release my right hip, the further my shoulders can travel. Now, for myself, I'm actually not that flexible, so increasing my hip turn has been one of the biggest things to help my golf this year. So as I turn my hips and feel like my right hip is moving more behind me, I do feel like it's a lot easier for me to complete my turn, trying to marry up those sticks. And from this angle, the feeling here would be trying to make sure that my right hip, or this right hand side of the stick, starts to move up and behind me. And I'd also say when I do this, as I create that turn and my hips have moved to 45 degrees, I think it's also very relevant to make sure they're angled correctly as well. I've seen people do this drill and they pick themselves up because yes, it's a lot easier to turn from a more upright position, but also I'm now not tilted down to the ball. So I think it's incredibly important that when we do this drill, we are trying to maintain our tilt. So that for me felt like my right hip moved behind and even a little higher. So my right leg extended, got straighter, and my left leg lost a little bit of flex in an effort to do that. And that was really, really helpful, actually releasing this right leg, releasing that right hip in an effort to do that. Then what I'd say is just pick up a golf club, address the same thing, or address the stick, set up to the ball, have a couple of rehearsals where we do that, and then hit some shots. Turn, hit one. Okay, slightly heavy for the first one, but as I try that again, I know I'm going to time it a bit better. It just felt like a really nice turn. Again, set myself up, turn the stick to match the angle. That was definitely better, that one. And one more, just to do it. And the only other thing I would say is if you are going to hit balls with this, just make sure, now I know I've done it now, but make sure there's not too much stick hanging out from the right. If you need to poke that in just so your arm doesn't get caught on the stick, then that's absolutely fine too. It's actually this side that I can see. And from there, one last turn. That was much easier when I got that stick out the way as well. So I really hope that helped you. It's a really good way to measure some hip turn. Even if you're overdoing it, you might see that as well. But I think it's really good for inclination and to just get some turn in there. So I hope that video helped, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so I hope you found that video really helpful for just being able to measure hip turn and be able to work out exactly what each body part is doing, so how the hip is moving, how the legs are moving, etc. And certainly staying on your inclination is an important one there. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and if you could subscribe to the channel, I know it would really help me. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.